Hi everyone, we are back with another war video today, and this is going to be war number 12, and we're going to be going up against the Alliance SSX. We are in a win and in situation for Masters. If we lose, we do believe we will miss out. I'm going to be bringing in Crossbones, Kate Bishop, and Tigra today. So SSX, we have pretty close ties with SSX for Loki does. And I met a lot of the players out there when I went to Vancouver. So Bitter Steel, DLL, Simula, and I'm sure there's several others I met that I'm forgetting. But just really good group of guys over there. So definitely unfortunate we are in a final war against each other. We're kind of both of us need a win to make sure we get Masters. We are going to be going up Path 5 in Section 1 and then Path 4 in Section 2. For this first fight, we're going to be taking Kindred with Kate. We've done this 6 or 7 times this season, I want to say. But strategy is the same as typical. We can't rely on our stuns. We want to heavy counter his heavy to keep him in the corner. And yeah, we're going to throw our second special to get our second cold snap up. Our next special we kind of want to just save so that we can use it for the final route. There we do a good job of knocking him down again. He's ticking away. Here we do a combo. We end up short though and get clipped again. Every time. I don't think I've ever played that fight super perfect. It's usually a potion or two. I've seen that it can be done. Fintech had a fight where he did it perfectly. And yeah, I just don't know if I'll ever get a perfect fight like that. We are healing up here. And I'm being very specific about what potions I use, as I want to keep my potion count low just in case I need them later in this war, which I will. This next fight, we're going up against Shuri. We took this fight last war, and it was very sloppy. I do want to make sure I play it cleaner. Again, I want to save my potions in case I need them. And yeah, the strategy here is pretty simple. We can't punish her heavy attack. So we really just get to rely on our evade counter and then our specials to get us knockdowns. So we're going to power start 1 from our previous fight, keep it rolling. So we're going to start with an evade counter here at the beginning and then full combo into our special 1. That'll give us our first cold snap. We then just want to wait it out a bit until our evade counter comes back, which you'll see I'll do here. Use our evade counter. Knock her into the corner to refresh the cold snap and to get a knockdown. We are going to evade her special 1 here, full combo into our own special 1 to apply the second cold snap and to get our fury back. Take the special 1, use our evade counter to refresh our 2 cold snaps. And yeah, now we're in a really good spot. We kind of have to wait here, and we're just going to wait for her to tick down from the cold snap with the protection up. So perfect, exactly how the fight should have went last war. So really happy I cleaned that up. And that, clearly that fight is very safe and easy going forward. This next fight, like I said, I'm going up Path 4. I did split it with someone else. This fight here, I was a little worried about just because I hadn't taken this path fight before. And I know it has caused problems for people. So I was nervous because of that. We are going to do our best to just, get our cold snaps up, keep them in the corner. I am not going to worry about power sting. I'm going to throw my specials either way. I dex his first special 1 here. Full combo into our second special 1. He throws a special. I'm just going to parry this time. Now we're going to use our evade counter to refresh our cold snaps. And yeah, we're in a really good spot. We're going to full combo here, and that's going to end the fight. So, pretty easy fight. Yeah, I was just a little worried because I've seen things go really badly before. But even if he did go unblockable, we have our evade counter, so it probably would help save us if we did run into issues. Next, we have the fight I was by far the most worried about. It is this Maestro on node 40, Burden of Might. This is the reason Tigra is on our team today. It is also the reason I ascended Tigra. She was on the short list to be ascended anyway, so it wasn't a big deal to ascend her. But I was very nervous for this fight because with Burden of Might, I could very much get stuck in a situation where I don't have a way to easily get power. So the strategy going in, though, is we're going to power start 1. We're going to basically bait a heavy and punish with our own 2 times, and at that point we would have our special 2, and then we were going to throw it. The hope was that our power back boosts, and then, you know, Tigra's natural kit of gaining power from her special 2 would push us back up to our special 2. Now, originally we talked about this, I was supposed to run max recoils, and I did not throw those on. So here we're going, we're going to punish his heavy twice like we do there. Now we're going to throw our special 2, and it does a good amount of damage, don't get me wrong, but it does not get us anywhere near our second special 2. So at this point I'm pretty worried, and I know we are not going to be able to place our neutralize, so my senses are starting to fall off here. Beta heavy, I throw my special 2 right away, and our special 2 applies the neutralize from the special attack, but not from combos at this point. I'm then going to throw my special 1 right after, and I was hoping that would crit and kill, and it doesn't. And so now we're really in a bad spot. I'm trying to get to specials just so I can throw them, so that they'll hopefully do a good amount of damage. Here, I was about to throw a special 1, and then the relic actually counted as a buff and made me lose my power from the node. So that was not ideal. Here we're getting close to another special 1. We're going to throw it. It doesn't crit. It does an okay amount of damage, I guess. But, you know, he's at 6%. And we're still trying to finish him here. There, if you saw, I had a buff and then I hit him and I didn't lose power. I think the glancing is for some reason interacting with it weird. But we're going to throw our special 1 here. It does crit, thankfully, and that ends the fight. So, yeah, very scary fight. We only ended with less than 50% health. But thankfully, we don't have to heal up Titania again. Or, sorry, Tigra again. Our next fight is Titania here. This is pretty clever placement because you really do want someone who is immune to these debuffs, as if you don't, Titania will ramp faster because her Haymaker comes back quicker the more debuff she applies to you. Now, Crossbones works fairly well here because he shuts off the node once he has 3 Furies. So he also kind of helps shut it down and prevent her Haymaker from going crazy. Now at the start there you saw I wanted to bait a heavy or a double medium just to get her Haymaker out, and then I can kind of dance around waiting for it to go away. Here I wanted her to throw a special 2, and I accidentally parry and push her to a special 3. So that puts us in a really bad spot. She is obviously going to throw it, and she's going to have her Haymaker, and we're going to be cornered. And we know if we get hit, the red damage will come through. The inv will only protect us from the initial hit. So I'm going to have to full dex this in the corner. I do get clipped once, but I evade every other combo of the hit. So really happy with how I pulled that out. And yeah, but the fight's not over yet, and we still have a lot of work to do. Going forward, you'll see I almost never trigger my overrun. I think I was just nervous at that point that I was going to get hit or something while doing it. So yeah, I just do a bad job of doing it. We're still in our corner here, so I'm going to throw this special 3. I originally going in just wanted to throw special 1s only, but once you're over a special 2, I wasn't going to throw that as it applies an Incinerate, which Conflictor would trigger. Here, she's close to another Haymaker, so I kind of want to bait this Haymaker out and then try and deal with her special 2, so she throws it during it, which she does. And then, yeah, we're going to go back in and punish. We would throw our special 1s like I talked about. Here, there's so many instances where I could have got my overrun back. There we do heavy punish to pause our Fury buffs. We're going to Relic here, similar thing, to throw a heavy to pause our Fury buffs. And then we're going to bait out this last special. And then we're going to go in full combo into our special 1 and finish the fight. So very scary fight. Obviously there was the mistake of accidentally parrying, but I'm really happy with how I recovered, and you know, getting that full dex in the corner was massive. We do have to burn 3 more potions now to heal up Crossbones and go into our final fight. There you can check I'm making sure I have my invul still. And so we're going to hustle into this Photon fight. yeah, double check my invul, just make sure it's going to be there when I go in, which, 15 seconds left, it's plenty. If it was like at 7 or something seconds, I would not join because, a long load screen and you lose it. But I did duel for this fight before the Titania one. I usually try and duel 2 fights in a row for basically a full grade boost. So here, we've taken this fight tons of times. It is our one death of the season, was at this node, so I was nervous going in as well. Main thing here, we punish her heavy attacks with our own to pause our fury buffs. We try and trigger overrun during the second hit of her special 1, just because it's an easy opening to get it done. And yeah, we want to ideally bait special 1s only. Here, I think this is where she becomes super hesitant to throw her special. Yeah, she's just not wanting to play ball. And we started to take brute force damage, and so I'm like, alright, we're just going to hit her and push her to special 2. But we lost about 15% health from that situation. Here, she still doesn't really want to throw the special. We finally get out of her, and I parried the first 2 hits for some reason, but I actually dexed the second part, something I've been struggling with. Here we relic, pause our hits with a heavy attack, trigger our overrun during her special 1, and then we're just going to go back in and keep comboing away. I also don't worry about baiting a special 1 versus special 2 at this point. I just want to, keep it going. We did do a good job of managing her light charges in this fight. I'll say that was probably one of the things we did best. We're only at 7. And we're closing in at the end here. I believe I just get we get an intercept, relic, and that ends the fight. So we ended with 53% health, even though we did pretty well. But yeah, that was the end of my war and my season. For final war stats, we did end up winning this war 2-1. So our best performance as an alliance this season with only the 1 death. And yeah, I'm just really proud of the alliance and, my battle group for coming through and doing amazing to get us make sure we finish Masters. We did have a donut in my BG as well, which I'm also very proud of. And that did allow us to finish 12th place overall. So we did finish in Masters. And SSX, thankfully, they actually did finish in the last spot of Masters. So even if we had lost, as long as we kept our attack bonus lost low, we would have still won, still finished Masters, I should say. Looking at my war stats for the season, I went 84-1. As talked about previously, my 1 death was the Photon on node 49. So 1 death and 84 kills. It is a really good season. Don't get me wrong, but it is the 3rd season in a row where I died just the 1 time. So I think all 3 I had around or over 80 kills, and then just the 1 death. So hopefully I can put together a deathless season again at some point. For fight types on the season, I had 46 path fights, 18 shared fights. The shared fights are those first 3 fight mini islands. I'm still counting those as shared fights. Minis, I had 14. And then boss, I had 6. So I did expect to have a good amount of bosses going into this season, mainly just because I figured I would be taking a lot of Photon bosses, but it really didn't end up that way. I just had the 3 fights against Photon the first 3 wars, and then I never fought another Photon boss. And then I had the 2 Maestro and the Mysterio, I think there was. For total kills at a tier 1 record, I had 870 kills and 22 deaths. So really proud of that. I just try and keep track of that just to, see where I'm at. And yeah, for champions used, Kate Bishop and Quicksilver did definitely the big heavy lifting. Kate was just completely dominant along Path 5 most of the season, so she got a good amount of fights every time. And then Quicksilver I used quite a bit for a bunch of shared fights and mini bosses. Next we had Crossbones. I ended up falling Photon all over the map, and Crossbones was just a great counter for most of those times. So he ended up picking up a couple other fights just for Path fights. I think it was mostly Path 4 fights he did really well because, he shrugs the debuffs and gets Furies. Tigra had just the 4 kills, that Maestro, and then I think she had 1 war where she had 3, taking a Gore and 2 Path fights. Omega Sentinel had a couple fights in there. Mantis just the 3 Photon bosses at the beginning of the season. And then there was 1 war where Silk was not banned, and so I used her. And then Torch, I think, took a Mephisto at some point. But yeah, overall, very happy with this season. As an alliance, we did fantastic. I'm really proud of us going 7-5, especially with such tough matchups. Um, we were not supposed to be having rematches this season, but that did not end up being the case. We had 3 rematches, and we basically didn't have any easy wars. I think we had 2 wars with alliances that weren't really in the same strength as us, I would say. But, we faced a bunch of tough ones: Legion twice, DSVG twice, Noon twice, LVT, SSX, TCN. I think we faced Jedi Assassin. So, a bunch of the top war alliances. And yeah, to go 7-5 was really good. From a death perspective as an alliance, we also finished top 10. So we did well overall on that. I think we finished somewhere around, 7. So yeah, overall, really good season for 4Loki. Now, this is going to be our last season of the year. We are not going to be pushing the next season. So I likely won't be posting many war videos going forward until, we pick back up on season 48. I probably will try and share some of the fights I do that are against tactic champs just to share kind of that interaction. But yeah, otherwise, not many videos will be coming from me. But that's going to do it for this one. So thank you for watching.